No one could have known it then, but when Daytona International Speedway opened in 1959, it marked the beginning of a new era in American motorsports. As a replacement for the old beach road course a few miles to the east, the opening of the high-banked 2.5-mile Florida Tri-Oval represented the leading edge of a wave of construction of big paved speed palaces. Before Daytona, Indianapolis was the only American oval track longer than 1.25 miles, and most racing took place on dirt ovals of a mile or less in length. From the very first Daytona 500 won by Lee Petty in a three-way photo finish, those high banks proved favorable venue for a wide-open stock car racing. Daytona kicked off the growth of NASCAR as we know it today. Daytona International Speedway's infrastructure has grown and changed to such a degree that it would be almost unrecognizable today to someone who hasn't seen it over the last 20 years. It's an amazing motorsports facility, but one thing hasn't changed over the past 6 decades. No driver can consider his or her career complete without notching a victory at Daytona. From Dale Earnhardt, who captured the 500 in 1998 after coming so close so many times, to 14-year-old kart racers whose racing resumes are just beginning, a victory at Daytona is a mark of distinction. Tonight, it's the Numb Thumbs Gaming ARCA series, and it's coming up next here on HBR TV. Stay with us. Good evening, everyone, again, and welcome to Daytona International Speedway. The information, the race details for tonight: 100 laps around the 2.5-mile tri-oval. Got 16 cars so far. Either way, it's going to be a good show. Plenty of drafting. Might even clean things up a bit. We might be in store for a really good race here at the Speedway. Practice is complete. Let's take a look at the practice results. Fastest on the board again. This is all in the draft. 45.72. Cody Williams out front. James Bowden, Dave Harden, Zeth Hawley, Mark Collins. Again, it's all kind of a bit of a moot point considering doesn't really indicate who's the fastest guy around this place, just given that a lot of this factors in the draft. Now, the draft is you tuck in behind the guy in front of you. That car out front, he kind of divides that wind resistance between yourself and that car, which means the car that is trailing can draft, use the more horsepower without having as much wind or drag on the nose of their race car, thus resulting in a little bit faster lap. Able to pull out and pass after that, use that proverbial slingshot. Qualifying already a few minutes underway here at the Speedway. Currently top of the board, Zeth Hawley, a Circleville, Ohio native, running the number 48 Lowe's colors on that machine. First lap, a 49.55, and just like that, he's down to the third position. The 9 of Colin Cook takes the top spot, 49.33, likely his second lap. We're going to stick here with Zeth for a moment, see what kind of time he can lay down here on his second time. Typically, lap 2 is the faster of the two. Again, first lap for Hawley, a 49.55. Approaching the tri-oval here. He keeps it up on the banking. Some guys will shortcut a little bit on the flat. Let's see what he gets. Fourth quick, 49.391. Currently Joe Robert top of the board. Double out Joe Bennett off turn 4 into the short chute into the tri-oval. First lap, 49.395. Crosses the stripe. His second lap is faster. In fact, fastest so far. Provisional pole for Bennett, 49.233. Derek Welch. Derek in an unfamiliar paint scheme. May have to double check that, make sure I've got the right settings ticked here. Sometimes that is the issue, but we'll get it squared away. If not, guess he's running the old Martin Truex colors. Derek Welch, 80 laps, my mistake. We'll get that fixed. Just like that. 80 laps. Nobody's perfect, right? We got her fixed anyway. Welch crosses the stripe. He goes P1, 49.20. That was the end of his second lap. Provisional pole for Welch. Mark Collins wrapping up his lap, the 45. See, he does take the bottom just a bit. Got to it a little premature. Going to give him 4th fastest on the day. Richard Gray, the 110 Mick Ultra machine, 49.777, his first lap. Good enough for 9th on the board. We'll see what kind of time he can lay down here on lap 2. I expect a pickup. Derek Welch confirming that is not the paint he should be in. Typically, it's a Numb Thumbs Gaming, that black and green scheme. We'll have to try and jump into the settings here in a moment and see what is going with that. 6 minutes into the qualifying session, Derek Welch top of the board, a 49.20. And we're going to step aside for just a brief moment and make sure we can get that figured out with everybody's paints, make sure they're accurate. All right, Jason Kraft on the speedway, first lap of 49.472. We did have one item unchecked in our graphics settings. Explains why the paint schemes were not displaying as preferred. I think we got that straightened out here. Should be good to go come race time. Kraft 10th fast, first lap again of 49.472. There you go. Everybody's getting updated as we watch. Kraft slides into the 4th position. James Bowden, the last car on the speedway as well. 49.225 for the 53 machine. That's 3rd quick on the board. Good time. Got 4 drivers. Have not taken a time so far in the session. It's Ricky Fagan, Dave Hoytsma, Cody Williams, Chris Clark. All opting likely not to take a time at all. They may just start this thing from the rear again. Not a huge field, so not a major disadvantage. Not like we're rolling off here with 38 cars. But it may give them an opportunity to kind of feel things out, watch things unfold, let everybody get into a rhythm, get squared away. 2 minutes officially left in the session, though. We are going to step aside here, take a short break. We'll return after this. Stay with us. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Daytona International Speedway. Your starting grid for race number 18. Derek Welch in the 1 on the pole position. To his outside, it's the 34 of David Harden. Starting in the second row, the 53 of James Bowden, with Jason Kraft, the number 23, starting 4th. Row number 3, it's Double Out Joe Bennett. And, of course, that 00 North-South Motorsports machine. To his outside, starting 6th, it's the 110 of Richard Gray. 7th goes to Mark Collins in the 45. 8th is Joe Robert. 9th starting position goes to the 9, Banger Bros Motorsports. Colin Cook. Richard Hurst rolls off 10th. Zeth Hawley, fastest in practice. He'll start from the 11th position. Ricky Fagan roll off from the 20th starting position. Cody Williams will be 13th. Dave Hoytsma rolling off in the 14th position. 15th goes to Tom Barish. John Osborne starts from the 16th position. Rounding out the field, 17th shotgun on the field, Chris Clark in the number 7 machine. That's your starting grid here from Daytona International Speedway. Field getting ready to roll out onto the speedway momentarily. Get this race underway. See Derek Welch in his familiar Depth Graphics Numb Thumbs Gaming Impala. We got that all fixed up. It was Martin Truex Jr. before. That didn't look right, so we had to double check some things. We got it squared away. Thank goodness for that. Once again, everybody, this is race number 18 from Daytona. 80 laps to settle it. Going to be a shakeup in the point standings here tonight. It was between Derek Welch, of course, and Vincent Short. But unfortunately for Vincent Short, Vince had essentially a mechanical failure, a hardware issue at home with the PC, lost the motherboard, and unfortunately unable to get that thing rectified and fixed in time for tonight's race. Don't expect him to really be up and running again until, I think, Monday or Tuesday. So he missed last week due to being unavailable out at the racetrack himself. He's going to miss this one as well. Really going to be a big shakeup. Really going to change things going into the end of the season here between Vince Short and, of course, Derek Welch. Field off turn number 4. Pace cars down the pit lane. Green flag is in the air, and we are underway from Daytona. Derek Welch is going to lead lap number 1. Second, David Harden, the 34, looking to the inside. Going to split Derek Welch. Kraft in the 23. He goes to the high side. He's going to go to the point through 1 and 2. Move Welch back to P3 as they roll down the back straightaway. Side by side for the lead once again. Derek Welch up top, Jason Kraft at the bottom. A little bit of a push coming from the 110 machine of Richard Gray. 34 of Hardin still down on the bottom. 16 of Joe Robert coming into frame as well. James Bowden there, 6th, 7th. That battle with Richard Hurst. Derek Welch still the nose out in front with Richard Gray to the outside. Now we got the 15 rolling into the picture. Richard Hurst up top. Now Richard Gray in the middle. Hurst goes up. Little contact between Gray and Kraft. Welch takes over the top spot. Eddie Rose in the stream chat. Thanks for saying hi, Eddie. Appreciate it. Derek Welch, though, still out in front. Man, you wonder what could have been. This really could have been a fun one to watch. It's going to be a fun one to watch anyway, but as far as the point standings and that battle of Derek Welch and Vince Short, Derek clearly out front, has a strong car, has some ability around these restrictor plates type races, but really, Vince Short kind of excels on places like this. It really would have been a great battle to watch between the two of them. Really a shame, unfortunately, for Vince not able to make this one. Oh, contact! Kraft in the 15 in the wall.
Caution's out.
Big wreck in turn number 4. Car still spinning down into the grass. Jason Kraft in it. Cody Williams. 110 machine, also Richard Gray in it. Dave Hoytsma, Richard Hurst. Well, unfortunately, it did not take very long. Only about a handful of laps into this one, and we've got a big one. See if we can get a look at it here. Kraft and Hurst come together. Just barely clips the 110 of Richard Gray. The 45 of Mark Collins. He's in it as well. The 16 Joe Robert. I'd say more than half the field got at least a smattering of this. Just a little bit of it. But heavy, heavy damage for the 15 machine. Richard Hurst seemingly getting the brunt end of this. Kraft slips up the track just a bit, really gets to the door of Hurst. Hurst trying to correct, comes back into the right side of the 23, and there you see it. Heavy, heavy impact for the 15. Oh, Mark Collins just drove it hard into the safer barrier. The 48 gets in there. Just about, I'd say 2/3 of the field were in that one. So through that, pretty much everybody from 7th on back, really 6th on back, is going to get damage and repair out of that one at some point or another. Mark Collins down. Chris Clark did not take the green flag, so he's not part of that. But yeah, Mark Collins in 6th and all the way back to 16th. 10 cars effectively involved in that. Tough break. We are going to step aside here. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back after this. Don't worry, we'll stay side by side. We'll be back for the green. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Daytona International Speedway, the Num Thumbs Racing League ARCA Series. Race number 18 here from Daytona. Derek Welch currently with the top spot. Dave Harden is in the second position. Just wrapping up our first caution of the day, resulting in 10 cars of the 16-car field getting wrapped up in it in some way, shape, or form. Green flag waves. We're back underway to put lap number 9 on the board. Derek Welch with a good jump gets out in front. Harden the 34, Bowden the 53, then Osborne the 81, Barish the 55. That is your current top 5. Harden looking to the outside of James Bowden down the back straightaway. Lap 10 goes on the board. Welch still out in front. Harden looking still to the outside. Right there, side by side with Welch as they work into turn number 1. Third and fourth between the 53 and the 81. Bowden and Osborne. Osborne up top in that Oreo Ritz paint scheme. In the high side, the number 81, that red, blue, and yellow Chevrolet. Gives a bit of a push to the 34, puts him out in front going into turn number 3. We'll see if Welch can battle back on the bottom with a little bit of drafting help from Bowden. Kind of going back and forth. Again, 16-car field tonight. Right now, we're down to 13, it looks like. There's Jason Kraft, Richard Hurst, Richard Gray, not on the lead lap at the present time. Welch looking real strong at the front of the field. Still great drafting help from James Bowden. Don't know if it's so much help or if it's just Bowden trying to use that fast car of Welch to kind of hang in behind, see if he can keep that machine up towards the front of the field, kind of out of the danger zone, so to speak, at the tail of the field. Doesn't want to get caught up into the mix, but the 32, here we see Ricky Fagan working his way up into this pack. Halfway through it so far. That 32 machine was awfully fast last week. In fact, he was the race winner. Going to try and see if he can make it 2 in a row here tonight at Daytona. And Ricky Fagan up to the 6th position, at least by a nose. He got double out Joe Bennett to the high side. Now he works to the bottom of the 81. Don Osborne up top. Fagan down to the bottom. The 55 just out in front. That's Tom Barish of 4th position. Welch and Bowden, 2-car pack. Not really getting away from the rest of these guys. I gotta imagine they're going to stay packed up really for the duration of tonight. Don't expect to see 2 distinct packs unless we get some green flag stops that can certainly cause that. But here we see the 15. That's Richard Hurst. He's starting to work his way through the field. However, he is not a lead lap car, at least right now. He's going to try to make his way to the front, try to take that lap back the old-fashioned way. Maybe get lucky enough to get a caution, but as of right now, Kraft is the 23 machine. He is the first car one lap down. You see the 23 in the top side. If we get a caution right now, Kraft would be the lucky dog. He'd get that free pass. The 15 would have to wait for another or do it again, like we said, the old-fashioned way. Get to the front, pass the leader, and go from there. He'd get a wave around if he could get on by at that point. But this battle is going to be a fun one to watch. Both of these guys, Kraft and the 15 of Hurst, they have some speed here at Daytona, really at all the tracks. But out of this one early, at least at a deficit here early, a lap down due to that early crash that we just saw. Hopefully they can work together, maybe. We'll see what happens. I know they kind of made contact together to trigger that one. Maybe they're not going to work together. Maybe they're just going to fight it out. We're going to have to wait and see. Daniel McKeon in the stream chat saying hello. Thanks, Dan. How are you? Thanks for popping in and saying hi. Where are you watching from? Who are you cheering for? Eddie Rose also missing Vincent Short. Chris Goen said there's going to be a lot of towing after that one, referring to that first caution. Got Naked HD chiming in as they always frickin' do. Giving me a hard time. Gonna make me lock this chat up. It's gonna happen, I swear. Front of the field still. Derek Welch out front. The Pied Piper so far. 53 of Bowden right on that back bumper. Topside starting to come into the mix as well. 34 of Harden. A little bit of drafting help from the 81 of Osborne. Not quite enough to make it on by Derek Welch, but he does stay side by side with the 53. Trying to get a run off of turn number 2. Let's see if he can do anything with it at the end of the straightaway. Top 5 are relatively unchanged, except for back and forth, back and forth. Welch still out in front. Harden, Bowden, Osborne, Barish, and pretty much that order. Again, as we said, 2 lanes working side by side. It does tend to change just about every 100 yards. But what hasn't really changed is the leader. That's Derek Welch out in front with that Numb Thumbs Gaming #1 Chevy. Bowden making a look to the outside, changes up lanes, gets in front of the 34 at the stripe. He's actually going to lead it. Welch blinks out there for quite a while. That was a big loss of connection. Oh, we got trouble. Trouble in mid-pack, or do we? Where did that car go? Did we just miss something? We stay under the green flag. I swear we had a car sideways. I thought maybe it was the 16. I'm losing my mind here. Let's go back and look at this, because I swear we had a car crossed up big time. Unless we had someone just blink out as well, maybe lose connection. No, it was the 16. He got crossed up big time. A heck of a save. Both drivers. You got Hurst. Hurst then went down to the inside. Maybe that's what's going on here. Does he save it before he gets to the wall? He's got it straightened out. Over the bumps. Yeah, he's going to get away clean. Big time save out of Richard Hurst there. Coming out of the tri-oval, contact with himself and the 16 machine of Joe Robert. Tough break for Hurst, though. He was trying to get back on a lead lap, and now he's lost the draft. So unless we get a caution relatively soon, in fact, we do have a caution now. I must have missed something here. Let's see what happened. Granted, this could be a stage break as well. Given the race length, 80 laps, this is about the 20 lap mark. I'm going to call this one a stage break. Derek Welch, of course, the victor in that stage. Field waiting on the pace car to catch up. I think they're going awfully slow here, specifically so that as the pits open, they don't have to go an extra lap around, which makes sense. I think the pits will open this time by. And there you have it. Derek Welch all the way back to P10. P12, all the lead lap cars in pit lane here. Again, this is the stage break. Fuel only for Welch. She's down and away. Comes back out front as the leader. We're going to step aside once again, get another break out of the way. We'll be back for the restart after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Daytona International Speedway. Stage 1 is complete. Derek Welch takes the top spot. About to be 23 laps in here as we begin to start stage number 2. Derek Welch, Cody Williams, Double Out Joe Bennett, Joe Robert, Ricky Fagan, the top 5. Pace car lights are off. Field formed up 2 by 2 as we get ready to go back to the green flag. Pace car is off.
Green flag.
'16 of Joe Robert there into the second, third position, tucked in behind Derek Welch off turn number 2. To the outside, it is the 38 of Cody Williams, trying to get some help from the 00. push him along by Derek Welch into turn number 3. Williams not quite enough there yet. Very low level of aggression here. I think that first crash that we had, that major caution, the 10-car incident that we had, might have kind of shaken these guys just a bit. Kind of said, all right, wake up call. Let's take it easy. Let's try to get this race in. Again, 80 laps to get it done. We don't want to wad these cars up that early in the event. Luckily, the benefit of a fast repair, these guys were able to get these cars fixed and back in this, though there were a handful that were not able to get that fast repair, at least quick enough to not lose a lap, having to tow back to pit lane. So they're going to have to work some strategy to try and get back up front. Of course, the last caution that we had, the stage break, we did have one driver get back out front. I believe that was Jason Kraft that got the lucky dog, put him back on the lead lap. Currently, I think Richard Hurst may also have gotten back around. We're going to find out just now. Yes, Hurst in the 15. He got a lap back. Currently, the 110. That is Richard Gray, the only car one lap down. The next stage here, if he stays in a good position here, he'll get that lucky dog. He'll be able to get back on the lead lap as well. We've seen a lot of that in this series. Just about everybody, if not maybe a couple guys, are able to stay on the lead lap all race long. It's really impressive. You got a good spread of skill across this series, but to see most, if not everybody, on the lead lap at the checkered flag, that is definitely impressive. Chris Goins cheering on. Let's go, Double O Joe. Double Ot Joe Bennett. Double Ot like the shotgun shells, right? Good for home defense. Welch still with the lead here. Cody Williams trying to find a way around. It really does seem like if you're out front, that bottom lane is preferred. You know, we talked about the level of aggression really hasn't ticked up as of yet. Very difficult to push with these cars. Most say you can't do it. Some say you can if you're super careful. Certainly cannot do it in the corners without wrecking everybody, but if you're awfully gentle and you get to that back bumper, you can give them a slight tap and a push as long as you're square and you're not closing in too fast. Certainly push a guy out to a position, get him to lead. In this case, Joe Bennett would need to push Cody Williams around Derek Welch to try and take that top spot, and I would expect Cody Williams to drop down to that bottom lane as soon as it happens, if it happens. Across the stripe here, 27 laps in of 80. Field works off turn number 4 once again to complete lap 27. Derek Welch, shockingly, still out in front. Cody Williams, though, he's going to get the nose across the line first. He's going to get a lap led for certain. 2 by 2 by 2 all the way back to row 7. A high-speed pace lap as they work down the back straightaway. Derek Welch in front. Robert Williams, Hoytsma, Joe Bennett now the top 5. Ricky Fagan has slipped back to the 7th position. It's a cool thing about Daytona International Speedway, Talladega, unlike a lot of these drafting tracks, the super speedways, is it kind of evens the playing field. You see all these guys packed up together. Yes, there's some guys that know this trick or that trick, and they can perform a little bit better, like Derek Welch, Cody Williams are both doing a decent job out in front. But you look at a guy like Ricky Fagan, he is definitely a fast driver. He's got plenty of skill, plenty of experience, but a track where you're wide open just about the entire way around, it makes it difficult for the driver to really make as big of a difference. Again, everybody's got their own tips and tricks that they can kind of take advantage with and do what they got to do, but with the draft coming into play, keeps everybody packed up. You can't really run away. It's not like a California Speedway or Michigan where if you're just that much better, you can check out from the rest of the field. You're not going to see that here. getting some confirmation here about the stages. That was at lap 20, indeed stage 1. Second stage will be lap 40, as we expected. That'll leave us a 40 lap, roughly, stage 3 to conclude the race. Derek Welch still looking strong out in front. Cody Williams leading the outside line. I think the outside might be a little bit more organized if they can get a little bit tighter, a little bit more packed up, and they work together. I'd be willing to see Cody Williams could take this top spot from Welch. Welch slides up just a bit. Don't know if he lost the nose a little bit there or if he's trying to slide up and put a little bit of air on the spoiler of Williams to slow him down, kind of stop the momentum of that high side. 48 pulling out into the center. Zeth Hawley looking for a space to get through. He might take the spot. In fact, double out Joe Bennett up close to the wall. No contact. Zeth Hawley now looking to the middle of Cody Williams. He says, you know what? I'm tired of waiting. Help or no help. I'm going to try and go here. We've seen it with these ARCA cars quite a bit. There is quite the vacuum, quite the draft. If you can work your way into that center, we see it with the trucks as well. But he's going to shuffle Cody Williams to the outside, and Zeth Hawley's going to go up and lead that second lane. Williams almost in the wall as well. Hawley back up front into the second position. Again, he was fastest in practice. Again, that included drafting, so we talked about that as far as why the times are what they are. Take advantage of that draft. Hawley seemingly knows what he's doing, has a little bit of an advantage as far as his skill level in the draft, and he has slowly but surely worked his way into the front just alongside Derek Welch. Again, Hawley started in the 10th position here today. Going to cross the stripe here, not quite out in front. Derek Welch is going to lead that lap. Chris Goins in the stream chat. The freight train is a terrible feeling. Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. You got to get tucked back in line. Try to get some air off that nose so you can kind of pull back up. But until you get tucked back in, you're an anchor. Well, let's give it a shot here. Closing in on the stage end. Let's try and go through the field. Right now, at least for the moment, the leader is Zeth Hawley out of Circleville, Ohio. He's worked his way from the 10th starting position all the way up to the lead. Not quite enough to clear Derek Welch. Derek's going to try and pass back on the bottom. He does just that. Move the Numb Thumbs Gaming depth graphics machine out back in front. But again, not for long and not by much. Running in the third spot, it's double out Joe Bennett out of Jacksonville, Florida. Running alongside the 16 of Joe Robert. Dave Hoytsma, the number 79. Honeycutt's machine. He runs in the 5th position. Mark Collins making a move to the outside. Number 45 out of Castlewood, Virginia. Numb Thumbs Gaming Chevrolet. He runs now in the 5th position. Tom Barish, the 55, Numb Thumbs Gaming. Davidson Builders, number 55. He runs in the 7th position. Jason Kraft, currently in the 8th spot. The Kraft was involved in that early race incident that put him a lap down. Stage caution got him back on the lead lap via the lucky dog. So not all is lost as of yet. Dave Harden, the 34 machine. Got to get some rust converter on that machine. But either way, having a decent day, still running top 10 in 9th. Cody Williams has slipped back into the 10th position. Again, he was out front in the 2nd position, running that high lane, and kind of got shuffled out of line. Freight trained him back to the 10th spot. John Osborne, the number 81, up in the top 5 for a while, now runs in the 11th position. Richard Hurst, also involved in an early crash, has gotten his lap back, runs in the 12th position. Further behind, we've got the 53 of James Bowden, the Interstate Batteries machine. He started a lot closer to the front, 2nd row. He's currently 13th. Ricky Fagan running in the 14th position. Not sure exactly what happened with the 32. He seems that he's lost the draft. Again, we're closing in on the stage, so it's not going to make a huge difference. Richard Gray, the 110 machine, listed in the 15th position. And then Colin Cook, listed 16th, likely out of the race as he is not on track. That's your running order as they stood. Of course, that has changed significantly since we've started that. 37 laps on the board here, just 3.5 shy of the stage end. Now, as we get near the end of stage number 2, remember, many of these drivers went with fuel only. There are a couple that did take tires. It looks to be Tom Barish, Dave Harden. Let's see, John Osborne, James Bowden, Ricky Pagan. They did take tires on that first stop. With these ARCA cars, it really does come into play. It does seem to help a little bit. These cars are very unstable. Have to keep a close eye to see who does what on this final stop under caution, unless we get a cause for incident for cause, caution for cause. We have a 40-lap run to the finish. We do see a driver hitting the pit lane right now. It's Jason Kraft. He might be trying to pull a fast one here. I don't know if he can get this done before the caution comes out, but he is down pit lane. Might be trying some strategy here. Gets into the box clean. Right side's going on. Four-tire change for Jason Kraft. Leaders are in 3 and 4. Kraft is down and away.
Caution is out.
Caution comes out. So it looks like Jason Kraft has pulled a fast one here, pulled some strategy here, hit pit lane right before the stage end. Caution comes out before he loses the lap. Hawley's going to win the stage. And Kraft just barely gets out in time. Again, if he had pit 1 lap sooner, they would have chewed him up in a hurry, but this is going to work out for him. I'm surprised he's not in the gas more than he is. He could get around and catch that pace car. So your stage 2 results: Zeth Hawley, Derek Welch, double out Joe Bennett, Joe Robert, Mark Collins, the top 5. Then we have Dave Hoitzma, Tom Barish, Dave Harden, Cody Williams, John Osborne, the top 10, followed by Ricky Fagan, Jason Kraft. That's the lead lap. Then we go to 13th, Richard Hurst, then Richard Gray, James Bowden, and Colin Cook. Again, Colin off the racetrack at this time. In fact, so is James Bowden. So field getting caught up here with the iRacing pace cars. They work into turn number 3. Pits will open this time by. $16 stays out on the track. So does Hurst. Again, Hurst not a lead lap car right now. Joe Robert in the 16. He does stay out on the racetrack. His last stop, lap 20. Not sure the strategy is going to try and work here, but we're going to certainly find out as this race progresses. Hawley down and away. No tires. Fuel only for the 48. We're going to step aside here, take a quick break. We'll return after this. Saw that inside lane so many times be the advantage. Space car peels off the track.
Green flag.
Green flag back in the air. Jason Kraft in the throttle. Hawley as well. Top four under a blanket down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Kraft still with the lead. Derek Welch working his way back into the frame as well. He becomes part of this top 5 pack. 6 and 7 not too far off either. A car length, maybe 2. To get off turn number 4. Jason Kraft using that bottom lane to his advantage. Again, it seems to be the best place to be, but Derek Welch quickly working his way back up front, tucks in behind the 23. Kraft still maintaining that top spot. You've got double out Joe Bennett to the high side. Hawley has slipped back a spot. Was Hurst into the wall there for a moment? I couldn't tell. Was awfully close, if not. Again, Hurst still not a lead lap car. First car one lap down. Still needs one more yellow flag to get that lucky dog to get him back onto the lead lap. Certainly has some pace. He's right up here with the leaders, but again, a full circuit in the rears. Jason Kraft still with the lead off turn number 4. Derek Welch stalking the 23, trying to look for an opening. Off turn 4, it looked like Kraft might have slid up the racetrack a little bit. Welch unable to capitalize on that, take the position, still tucks in behind Kraft into 1 and 2. Little slip, loss of the nose, arrow push. Ricky Fagan hanging there in the 7th position. It's kind of been where they've been at most of the evening. Again, lap 48 of 80. Still plenty of time left, but I don't know if he's really in a preferred position in that number 32 tied ride. Something happens up front, he's all but guaranteed to be a part of it. Kraft still out front. Welch still tucked in behind. Again, the bottom lane, the place to be. Bennett out front had the opportunity. There wasn't a ton of room. Oh, there is. He slides down to the bottom. He clears Jason Kraft. New leader here, lap 48. It's double out Joe Bennett to the point. Zeth Hawley now back up front, but on the outside lane, he's got the 45 of Mark Collins with a little bit of help, and Hurst also into this picture as well, the number 15 Ford Tough Machine. Ooh, a little bit of contact with the outside wall by the 45 of Collins. Everybody gathers it up, keeps it straight. Joe Bennett still the leader into 3 and 4. The battle for second, Zeth Hawley and Jason Kraft. Battle for third between Derek Welch, Mark Collins. "31 laps to go here from Daytona before we settle it. Little cross up. Zeth Hawley takes the top spot. Move Joe Bennett back to P number 2. Hawley with a good run through turns 1 and 2 was able to cross down in front of the path of the 00, take over the lead in the preferred lane on the bottom. It's also allowed a bit of a shuffle. Now we've got the 45 of Collins trying to do the same. Seems that somebody saw something and learned from it, but Collins slides back up top to block that top lane. That's Hurst. He's a lap down. You would have just let him go. As Hawley goes back to the bottom, he's going to continue to take this top spot as they exit the tri-oval into 1. The 48 retakes the top spot. Collins had it for a brief moment, even crossed down in front of the 48. If he had just stuck to it, I think he'd be out front right now, but tried to block the high side, probably unaware that Hurst was a lap down. Tight battle here at the front of the field. Zeth Hawley, Mark Collins, the 00, Joe Bennett, Jason Kraft, Derek Welch in behind. And here comes the 32 of Ricky Fagan. He is getting into this mix as well. Business is picking up here at Daytona. Aggressive level has gone up at least a couple of ticks. Mark Collins, a big push from the 15. Richard Hurst is in the wall, though. It's going to cross up everybody. Slows down the forward momentum of that outside line. Breaks these guys apart. That is going to kill the run that top lane had. You see Joe Bennett going for the lead. A block from the 48. That's going to open the door for Kraft on the bottom, down the back straightaway. Kraft, the 23 machine. Not a whole lot of help from Derek Welch. A car length back, but he's at least at the door of Hawley down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Got a nose out in front. Welch is now tucked in. That's going to help the forward momentum of the 23. Slow car up top. That's the number 16 of Joe Robert. Again, Joe Robert pit coming to the 1 to go. Maybe he just didn't get back to the field fast enough, lost the draft as he goes a lap down. Hawley out in front again. The top side reorganized. Hawley, Bennett, Collins, and Fagan. Hurst in the middle there as well. Again, Hurst, the 15, not a lead lap car. Still playing a part, which is fine. He's trying to get that top position back, that lead lap position back. Now we're going to go 3 wide. Derek Welch in the middle, trying to take over the lead as they go into turn number 3. 3-car battle for the top spot here at Daytona. They fight off of turn number 4. Who's going to make a move? Who's going to make a mistake? So far, it's nobody. Top 3, crossways over the start-finish line. Who's going to lead it at the stripe? I think it might have been Hawley. 26 laps to go. Man, oh man, if we can just have that one on the last lap, we'd be in good shape. Contact between the 45 of Collins and Kraft. 45 slides up the track. Everybody gets away clean. Kraft still in the throttle. Collins the same. Derek Welch, though, a bold move to take over the lead here with 25 and a half laps to go. The Numb Thumbs Gaming Depth Graphics Chevrolet takes over the top spot once again. You can see the handle going away on some of these cars. Joe Bennett, there, that 00, that gray, white, and red entry in the top lane. See him slide the nose a bit on corner entry. We do see that with these ARCA cars. Tires as they wear, they will start to change the handling characteristics of these race cars, even on these big, wide open super speedways. 25 laps to go. Welch back in a familiar position. Started near the front. In fact, he started pole position tonight. Led most of the first third of this race. Led stage 1. Won stage 1. I think he was second for stage 2. Worked his way back up front, but now Hawley battling back. In the Hurst machine, the number 15, he's going to try it the same. He crosses down below onto the bottom line. He gets in front, gets that lap back. Not wasting any time, hoping for a caution now to get him caught up to the tail end of the field. And he'd have to do it all over again. He's got a lot of cars to pass if we can get that yellow, but now he's just got to stay out front and hope to get a caution before this one is out. 24 laps to go. Outside lane is currently the leader. That's the 48 Lowe's entry, Zeth Hawley. Inside lane, second place, Derek Welch, the pole sitter. Likely to be the point leader when this one is over with. Another wiggle out of the 00 of Joe Bennett. Keeps it straight down the back straightaway. Outside lane seemingly is coming in. It seems to be picking up pace just a bit. That or the top side is just getting a little bit more organized. Welch wants around Richard Hurst. You saw him take a peek to the outside of that 15. Prefers to be out in front. Seems the car does handle best. You get all the air on the nose of that machine with a little bit of drafting help. Again, very easy to defend. Right now, he's kind of bottlenecked with the 15 down at the bottom, a lap down. "22 laps to go here from Daytona." Hawley and Welch trading the lead back and forth, back and forth. But again, the 15, Richard Hurst, kind of the fly in the ointment here. He was a lap down right now as he gets the nose out in front. He's the last car on the lead lap, but either way, it is playing a part here with these leaders. I can't say I blame him for trying to be up there. He's got every right to it, but it's got to be frustrating for the top drivers, especially Derek Welch. Crosses over in front of Hawley. This is the move he needs to make. He's got to get around that 15, find a way to do it, and he's certainly trying right now. Gets around Richard Hurst, puts Hurst back a lap down. He's going to cross back over in front. Bold move once again. Tired of waiting behind that 15. It's going to raise the engine temperatures, especially at the pace that he's got to go. At least he's in control of his own destiny at this point. He can battle and fight the best way that he can from the front. You've seen him do it so well in that first stage. Again, the aggression level wasn't what it is now, but nevertheless, if you want to be out front, you want to be on that bottom side with a little bit of drafting help. He's just got to hope that Hurst continues to push the way that he is. Things seemingly settling down here towards the front of the field. Everyone relatively content in the position that they're at. That will certainly change as we close in on the finish of this race. 20 laps to go. Going to be 19 as they cross the stripe. Derek Welch, Zeth Hawley going to be side by side as they cross the line. Hawley's going to lead that one. Most of the field working down to that bottom lane. You got a 4-car pack up top. That is Hawley, Bennett, Kraft, and Collins. On the inside, you've got Derek Welch. You've got the 15 of Hurst. All Hurst is not a lead lap car. The 81, Osborne. 32 of Fagan, and then the 38 of Williams. And we've got trouble on the backstretch. Caution is out.
Talk to me, good, what do you got?
This is going to get Hurst back on the lead lap, but it's with our leaders. Hard impact. The 48 of Hawley involved in it. This comes with 18 laps to go. Let's take a look at it. Came a little bit late, but it looks like the 15 of Hurst is not going to get a benefit here as he's going to be involved in this one as well. The 15 of Richard Hurst kind of moves up out of the lane, kind of hovering the bottom in the middle. Osborne's going to kind of go with him as well. Again, this is getting into turn number 3. Welch out front, and you see the 00 Joe Bennett just goes to the bottom to make a move. I don't know if he just didn't see that he didn't have room or what exactly happened. In fact, let's back it up again. Maybe he had some contact to move him down there. I didn't see. Let's go to the 23. You can find Jason Kraft here. Go to the roof cam. All right. He may get into the back of the 00. This is why, yep, you can see it. The back end comes up just a bit. crosses up Joe Bennett. He checks up out of the throttle. And there you have it. Clips the 48 of Hawley. Hurst is in it, of course, the contact with Bennett. Collins gets it. Kraft is in it. Ricky Fagan gets a piece. Williams just drills the back. Another big wreck here late in the race. 18 laps to go. Now 17 likely. Tough break for these guys at the front of the field. You gotta hope some of them have fast repairs still remaining. Seth Hawley, we're going to find out right now if he's good to go. That thing is definitely not looking good. Looks like a modified right now. Gets into the box. Fast repair used. So Hawley not out of this thing yet. Likely to get a restart here with 14 to go. Tough break. Again, not out of it yet. Still has an opportunity to work his way back to the front. It's good news for Derek Welch, though. But now you see these guys, some of them took tires. Let's see, did Hawley as well? Yeah, a lot of these guys on this stop opted to take tires. That's certainly going to increase their chances, give them a little bit more maneuverability as this one comes to a close. We're going to step aside here, get another break out of the way. We'll stay side by side. Stay with us. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Daytona International Speedway. Getting ready for what we hope to be our final restart of the evening. Going to be with 14 laps to go after a caution involving the second place machine and many others. Primary being Seth Hawley, battling for that lead, battling for that top spot. Gets involved in an incident. We're getting ready to go back to green here. Derek Welch out in front, trying to cap this one off. It'll be 14 laps to go when we cross the stripe. He's got Tom Barish to the outside, then Dave Hoytsma, John Osborne, and Mark Collins all challenging. Green flag waves. We're underway. Ooh, close quarters battle here at turns 1 and 2. Almost contact between Derek Welch and the 81 of John Osborne as Tom Barish goes to the point here. 14 laps to go. Derek Welch slips now to the 5th position. Bad restart for the 1. Meanwhile, Cody Williams, the 38 machine, he's going to inherit the top spot, but for how long? John Osborne on the bottom, the number 81, takes over the top spot for the time being. He's not going to slide up to clear again. We've talked about it a lot tonight. That bottom lane is preferred, especially if you're trying to stay out front. The outside really needs to get organized together and work as a big group in one line of drafting race cars to do anything with the leader. However, on the bottom side, if you don't have a drafting partner, it's not going to matter. You just don't need it as much on the bottom as you do up top. Osborne with the lead. Welch going to the middle here, trying to go 3 wide to get back towards the front of the field. Again, there's a lot of suck there. A little bit of a block from the 110. Richard Gray goes to the bottom. Oh, contact with Derek Welch. Gray goes to the bottom. He hits the 38 of Williams. They're wrecking once again. Oh, contact with Welch as well. We are under the caution flag once again. I thought they were going to all hang on to it, but was not meant to be. Well, we're in it a little late here. Let's try this. Yeah, the 110 gets into Cody Williams. I thought they all had it straightened out. Williams gets sent up into Derek Welch. Then they all wreck down there at the bottom. Kraft in it again. Ricky Fagand. Seth Hawley in it again. Just use that faster pair, the 79. Dave Hoytsma, he gets in it as well. We got to back it up a little bit further here before. Pretty hard impact for Welch into the outside wall. I would imagine Welch still has a faster pair to use. Has to back it up. Faster pair used. So Derek Welch again, still not out of it. Probably going to be 9 laps to go when we get the restart. So Welch down and away. Looks like he's going to exit pit lane in not a terrible spot. 6th place. Certainly capable of working his way back to the front from there. That's going to put John Osborne out front, Richard Gray, Dave Harden, Tom Barish, Ricky Fagand. That's the top 5. Again, Ricky was involved in that wreck as well. So was Richard Gray. I mean, honestly, it does seem like Gray kind of had the most to do with that as far as touching that one off. Certainly not intentional, but got into the 38 and around Williams went. Williams looks like he's going to restart here in the 9th position. We're going to step aside again for a really short break. This will likely be our last one of the evening. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Veronica chiming in. No sound, thank you. Sometimes that button gets a little sticky. Sorry about that. 7 to go, though. Barish with the lead. Welch to the outside. Gray is in the inside lane. Keep an eye on that top side, though. Welch and Hawley, if they can work together, maybe they can battle this out together. We'll see. Barish, though, doing a good job in the bottom. That number 55, Numb Thumbs Gaming Machine. Gray on the bottom side as well, behind the 55. Looking left, looking right, trying to find an opening. 6 laps to go as they cross the stripe. Oh, contact! Hawley's around again!
Caution, caution.
Big trouble in the back straightaway. Hawley is in another one. This is probably going to do it for the 48.
When you're on track, right after
6
that
laps to go, and we get another caution. Barish still with the lead. Welch possibly going to be in the second spot here. I mean, the car doesn't look terrible, but that left rear pushed in, the spoiler up, it's certainly going to affect straightaway speed. He can get as much fixed as he can here and stay in the draft. He might have an okay finish out of this, but we're going to have to wait and see. Let's go back and take a look at it, see exactly what happened. .34 just drives into the Hawley there. I'm going to back it up again. Maybe get a different angle on this. 34 a Harden. Let's look at the roof cam here and see what he sees. He's got about half the car. There was a checkup there. It looked like Hawley got out of the gas and a little bit of contact. I want to back it up one more time. Let's go to the roof cam of Hawley and see what happened in front of him to cause that. Just got a good run off of 2. And lifted just a bit. I don't know if he just didn't want to get into the back of Welch, but unfortunately, him trying to save Derek cost himself, unfortunately, pretty significantly. Kraft gets into him pretty hard there. Tough night for Zeth Hawley. So we're going to give it another shot here. We might actually get this restart officially with 2 to go, which effectively gives us a green-white checker, but within scheduled distance. Unless we go an extra lap, then we would tap into that first green-white checkered finish again. We do have up to 3 attempts at a green-white checkered, but with this one occurring, if we get the restart with 2 to go, of course, the green comes out at 2, then they go around, catch the white, and then, of course, checkered flag. It's a natural green-white checker, I guess is the way you would describe it. Take them however we can get them. It's going to be exciting nonetheless. Obviously, everybody here, especially all in the top 13, they're all set on kill right now, trying to get all that they can get, because realistically, even Joe Robert back in the 13th position, he's got an opportunity to win this, no different than Tom Barish. Okay, slightly different. Tom's out front. The 13 of Joe Robert is not, but 13th of Joe Robert is not. But nonetheless, anything can happen. We've seen these guys, first place, second place, doesn't seem to matter. You catch a little contact in a way you weren't planning on it, wrong spot, and around you go. Caution's out. So you wreck half the field, and all of a sudden you find yourself leading this thing. Again, the 55 of Barish, he really hasn't been out front most of the night. In fact, he's up 14 positions on the day. He opted not to qualify, started near the rear of the field, and has decided here late, it's time to go. And here he is. He finds himself leading this race. He's going to have to hold off Derek Welch, though. That top side's going to have to get real organized for Derek to try and make that pass. I think the best thing for Welch to do is try to get a really good restart here as we are on the 1 to go. Pace car's off. Let's give it a shot.
Green flag.
Green flag in the air. Going to be 2 laps to go. Good jump by Tom Barish. Derek Welch, not a great restart, but not a horrible one. 81 Osborne tucked in behind. Down low, you've got the 110 of Richard Gray. Mark Collins in the mix as well. No drafting help for Derek Welch. You might have to side draft here a little bit. Go to the outside. Try to build some momentum down the back straightaway. Richard Gray trying to find an opening. Left, right, left, right. A lot of aggressive maneuvering there in that 3rd position. 2nd inside lane. Parrish goes through. Oh, we got trouble once again. Joe Bennett in the fence. Big trouble. Jason Kraft. Hurst is involved. Again, the 79 of Dave Hoytsma. And we're going to line them up and try it one more time. Joe Bennett having trouble trying to get that thing righted. Right front certainly damaged. Well, let's see if we can get a look at it. See exactly what happened with Joe Bennett. Had Kraft to the outside, and it looks like Joe just comes up the tracks ever so slightly. It's all it took. Let's try to look at it from Kraft's perspective. Kraft might have actually come down here just a hair. It doesn't take much. They were 3 wide. Catches the right rear of Joe Bennett. Hard impact for the 0-0. Let's try to get a look at it full speed from Jason Kraft's perspective. Well, there you have it. Gonna try this another time. Tom Barish with the lead. Derek Welch second. Richard Gray third. John Osborne, Mark Collins. That's the top five. Again, we are going to step aside here for a quick break, get it out of the way, and we'll be back with the restart after this. Field working the back straightaway. Pace car lights are off. We're formed up 2 by 2, which means attempt number 1 at a green-white checkered finish. Official attempt number 1 at a green-white checkered. Of course, we did have that natural green-white checkered with without the white or the checkered, so it didn't quite work out. We had trouble relatively quickly there going into turn number 3. Took out Joe Bennett and Jason Kraft, among others. See if they can get it done here. 3 laps to go. It'll be 2 as they cross the stripe and get the green flag. Who can win it? Tom Barish? Derek Welch? Will Richard Gray take over? John Osborne? Mark Collins? Richard Gray's looked awful racy there in behind. Looking left, looking right, just trying to find any opportunity. We'll see what happens. Going to find out here in just a minute. Pace car getting ready to peel off the racing surface. We go back to the green flag.
Green flag.
Barish with a good jump out in front. Welch has been going up a little bit in that first couple corners on the restarts, trying to not scrub as much speed, but it's closed a couple of guys behind him, the 81 and the 34. Welch is going to put a nose out in front, down the back straightaway. Richard Gray, again, awfully aggressive in the rearview mirror, the 55 of Barish. Welch is going to lead him at the stripe. Final lap, white flag in the air. Barish now, he knows is out in front. Gonna need some help from Osborne for Welch to get on by. Don't know if he's got enough organization up top to get it done. Little bit of a run off turn number 2. Welch is to the door of the 55. Osborne closing in fast into turn number 3. Will they make it all the way back to the checkered flag? Barish down to the bottom in 3 and 4 for the final time, and they're wrecking behind. It's going to be a race back to the start-finish line. Barish out in front. Can he get the win here at Daytona off turn number 4? Checkered flag waves. Barish takes the win for second place. It's going to be Derek Welch. Third place finisher, Richard Gray. John Osborne. 5th is Mark Collins as Barish goes for a wild ride post-start finish line, but it doesn't matter. He takes the win anyway. Tom Barish is your winner here from Daytona, the Numb Thumbs Racing League ARCA Series. Let's take a look at that crash post checkered flag. Gray tried to push him, got him loosened up as he crossed the stripe, sends him through the infield grass, and it just rolls over. Almost takes out the pace car. Not a good place to park if you're a pace car driver. Celebrating on the front straightaway, Tom Barish, victorious here at Daytona. These guys have a lot of fun. You've got, I think, the whole top 5 out there having a blast. Stay with us, folks. We'll be back with our top 3 after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Daytona International Speedway. Race number 18, the Numb Thumbs Racing League ARCA Series is in the books, and your winner, Tom Barish, going to join us momentarily. A big team win for NTR. Barish, Welch, and Gray all racing for the same team. Explains the big celebration in the Tri-Oval post-race. Let's see if we can give a moment here for them to get up into the broadcast booth. First, we're going to go to Tom Barish himself. Tom, it's Steve in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. Hello, Steve.
Tom, we're going to turn you up just a bit. Congratulations on the win. I think you started right near the back. You passed 14 cars multiple times, I'm sure, to make your way all the way to the front of the field. You did a great job holding off Derek Welch for the win. Again, a team win for you guys, so it explains the courtesy played all the way to the checkered flag. But tell us about the strategy coming in tonight, not qualifying, and how you made your way through the field.
Well, we were talking earlier. I'm right on the points bubble, and we kind of knew that I needed to win or finish real high to get into the chase. And luckily, I had my teammates all around me up there up front. I just happened to be the NTG car that was up front at the end of the race. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have done it.
Well, it was certainly an impressive run. Things got a little chaotic and hairy there in the last, I don't know, 10, 15 laps or so, but you managed to keep that thing clean. Brought it across the line first, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. Usually I'm not up in the front, but tonight I knew that if I wanted to get into the chase, that I needed a real strong run. And luckily I had some good teammates again. You know, those guys were walking me through at the beginning of the race what I needed to do and what I need to do at the end of the race.
So we leave Daytona and we roll into, I believe, the LA Coliseum. That is going to be night and day. I mean, without a doubt. I mean, you go from a 2.5 mile super speedway into a 1/4 mile racetrack inside of a stadium. What are your thoughts going into that place?
Yeah, it's gonna be different. It's gonna be exciting. I don't fare well on the shorter tracks, so it may be real interesting for me. But either way, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Absolutely looking forward to it for sure. Congratulations once again on the victory here tonight at Daytona. Before we let you go, is there anybody that you need to thank?
Yeah, I just want to thank all the guys at Numb Thumbs Gaming. They've been pretty much with me, or I've been with them since I started in iRacing coming from Heat 5, and just a great community of guys. Everybody, the guys on my team and everybody in the community, they're always willing to show you, help you, put these practice lobbies up to try to get better. Just couldn't be more grateful for the guys at Numb Thumbs Gaming and Numb Thumbs Racing.
Teamwork wins, man. Again, congratulations, and again, good luck going into the Coliseum next week.
Thanks, Steve. Right back, man. You do a fine job. Thank you.
Thanks for the kind words, man. Next, we're going to go to Derek Welch, championship contender here. We'll pull him up into the broadcast booth and get a word with Derek. Derek, it's Steve in the booth. You got a good copy?
Yes, sir.
Derek, congratulations. I know it's not the finish you wanted, but I guess being a teammate beating you out there, I guess you can't complain too much. Tell us about your night strategies at the beginning through winning stage number 1, pit strategies, and then dodging all the wrecks after that.
Oh, man, this is exactly what the finish I wanted. Wall, I call him Wally. That's his gamer tag. I can't even think his name. Tom. He deserves that win. He. That's his very first. Ever since we started iRacing here at Numb Thumbs, that's his very first NTRL victory. And I was gonna guard that high line. I was not letting nobody pass. And me and him was gonna battle it out. And he had a low line, and of course, low line's better. He had the help of Richard Gray, and he pulled it out. I can't. It's like I won the race, man, and I'm so ecstatic for him. But yeah, my strategy was to stay up front most of the race, and I did. And I guess I got caught in the wreck or something. I went 3 wide to push up the middle, and my teammate cut my nose off. I said, "Oh no!" So yeah, great finish. So I can't. I'm happy.
We watched you make one move 3 wide up the middle to take the top spot during the race. Everybody held their breath, but you made it stick and you took the lead. Was that just, I'm going for it, you better be ready kind of deal?
Oh yeah, I had my teammate behind me, Mark Collins. Yeah, I puckered up my butt and went for it. I was nervous as anybody else was, and I took it up the middle. And, yeah, Mark almost got in the wreck behind me, trying to follow me, but I think they was able to straighten it out. But yeah, I'm not the guy who usually make the ballsy moves. I'm usually the safe, kind of. I don't know. I usually just try to stay out of it.
What's the line we use from Days of Thunder? There's calculating drivers and there's kamikaze drivers. You're a calculating driver, I take it.
Yeah, I try to be.
Well, without Vincent Short here for 2 weeks in a row, I'd imagine the points shakeup is going to be pretty significant. We'll have to take a look at that going into the Coliseum next week. Before we get there, though, what are your thoughts going into that Coliseum? We go from this super speedway into this tiny little 1/4 mile track in a stadium. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's going to be an all-star race, so there's really no points involved in this race. It's just out there for fun. I might put a $50 reward out for the winner. But I'm a short track guy. I've never been in the Coliseum before. I've never raced no cars there, so it's going to be new to me, but I am a short track guy. I love short tracks. So I'm gonna have fun. So
Well, we're certainly looking forward to it. Again, congratulations on P2. A good points night for sure. Before we let you go, Derek, is there anybody else that you want to thank?
None Thumbs Gaming, my teammates. Great win by my teammates tonight. We all placed in the top 5. DEP Graphics, he's my sponsor. He paints all my cars for me. I get compliments everywhere I go about all the cars I drive. And yeah, that's it. And Mr. Doug Stuckley, he's my partner in crime over at None Thumbs Gaming. He's my co-owner, owns None Thumbs Gaming with me. So shout out to him too.
All right, Derek. Well, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck in the All-Star race.
Thank you, sir.
It's Derek Welch, your P2 finisher here at Daytona. Next, we're going to pull up Richard Gray and get a word with our third place finisher. Let's pull him up into the booth and hear what he has to say. Richard, it's Steve in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Richard, congratulations. A top 3 finish, a team 1, 2, 3. Tell us about your night.
It was pretty good. I got a lap down there at the beginning, but was able to make it back, get back up there and race with my teammates. That was
Any strategies that helped work your way towards the front of the field? You looked awfully aggressive in the rearview mirror of the 55, just not enough to get on by. What else could you have done?
not really a whole lot. I was just hanging on there for dear life. To tell you the truth.
Well, either way, a solid top 3 finish for the 110 Mick Ultra machine. I've asked everybody else. Next week we go to the All-Star race into the LA Coliseum, that little quarter-mile bull ring that we're going to do inside of, well, a football stadium. Going to be different, certainly way different than the super speedway here at Daytona. What are your thoughts headed out west?
I'm really worried about it. I'm not much on the short track, especially that little bull ring. It's going to be tough.
Well, it's certainly going to be fun to watch. Close quarters battles all the way around. Congratulations on P3. Good luck next week. Before we let you go, anybody that you need to thank?
Just my teammates, bro. Just my teammates. NTG, they the best, bro. They the best.
Fair enough, Richard. Again, congratulations on that 3rd place finish and good luck in the All-Star race.
Thank you, sir. Good job.
Cut him off a little too early. Sorry about that, Richard. I think you were giving us some kind words. We certainly do appreciate that. Congratulations once again. That was your top 3 finishers here at Daytona International Speedway. Let's take a look at the rest of our race results. Finishing 4th was John Osborne, the 81. He worked his way back up towards the front. He was in that top 5 for quite a while, had some issues, worked his way back. Still a solid 4th place finish. Mark Collins, the 45, he finished 5th. Joe Robert was 6th. 7th place finisher, Zeth Hawley. Not for a lack of trying, man. He was right up front there battling for that lead with Derek Welch and others for quite a while. Got wrapped up in about 2 or 3 different incidents late in the race. Unfortunately, still a 7th place finish. Not a terrible points night, but probably could have had a lot more if things went a little bit differently. David Harden finished in the 8th position. Richard Hurst was 9th. Again, he battled back from a lap down. A good top 10 finish for Hurst. Double out Joe Bennett. Again, he was really good out front, near the front of the field for quite a while. I think led a couple of laps, finishes top 10. Ricky Fagan, last week's winner, 11th place finisher, last on the lead lap. Cody Williams was 12th. Jason Kraft was 13th. Dave Hoitzma, 14th. 15th went to James Bowden. Colin Cook was 16th. Chris Clark credited with 17th. Looks like he did not start the race officially. But looks like he is still going to get the credit for that position as he was in this session. That's your race results here from Daytona. It's going to about wrap it up for us here. We've got some more races coming up. Of course, this is the last one of the week, but we'll be back on Monday with the Lone Star Racing Sports Car Series from Watkins Glen International. Tune in for that. It's LMP2 with GT3s. Class racing out there at the Glen. Should be a great one. We're certainly looking forward to it. Tune in. We go live, I think, about 8 p.m. in the East. Either way, if we don't even have the time right, the best solution to all this is to like, follow, share, subscribe, facebook.com/HBRTV1, and most important, turn the notifications on. If you turn on those notifications, well, it does what it sounds like. You get a notification whenever we go live or make a post or something to that effect. So click those buttons, get it followed, get it liked, get it shared, get it subscribed, whatever the funny buzzword is. But it's the same here. Facebook, we dual stream to YouTube as well. Also find us HBR TV1. Both of those. Certainly appreciate the participation in the stream chat. A little light tonight. Got to thank Veronica for chiming in. We had a little sound issue and I didn't catch it until I saw it in the stream, so hopefully it wasn't too terribly long. But occasionally things happen. Don't click the right buttons or click them a little too much. Either way, we get it rectified. We move on to the next race. We'll see everybody next week at the LA Coliseum. Man, I am looking forward to that. That is going to be, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be off the hook, as they say. Thanks again for watching, everybody. I'm Steve Singer with HBR TV, congratulating Tom Barish and NTR for a team top 3. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great night.